Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at our first custom ROM for the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL, not the first but the first one on this channel at least, and it is going to be the Android open source Illusion project, so AOSiP, and this looks like it's just based pretty much purely on AOSiP and then also includes some features and kind of tweaks and things like that. So you can have a look at the features down here in the second post. So there is a lot of stuff here. Whoops. And yeah, so one little dirty secret that I found out recently was that even though you don't have the Pixel 3 XL, a lot of developers have decided to put their threads here, even though they do support both the crosshatch and blueline. You can see here, for example, the Illusion project here has crosshatch/blueline, and you can see down here this kernel is for both the Pixel 3 and 3 XL and has given it the name Blue Cross, which is a mishmash between the two devices here. So since this one is officially supported, hopefully it does work well, and we're going to go ahead and download and install this. So there are separate downloads in this case. So for Blueline users, you can just click on this link and it'll take you to where it downloads the Android open source Illusion project. So you can choose from one of the mirrors here, or you can even download it from their official link. And once you have that downloaded, you can also download Magisk, and then you can also download the TWRP installer, quite important. This is if you want to keep TWRP installed, and of course the factory images, just in case we need them. Some ROMs require you to flash this before you flash their ROM, so you always have the latest one handy as well. And if we go here, we're just going to go and have a look at the installation instructions. So all you need to do now is to make sure you have copied the ROM, Magisk, and the TWRP installer over to your phone. And I've done this already. So once you have done that, all you need to do is boot your phone into TWRP. And my phone's already in the bootloader, so I'm just going to select the option to reboot into recovery mode and let my phone boot up into TWRP. Okay, so now we're booted into TWRP. We can tap on wipe and then do an advanced wipe and wipe the cache, system, and data partitions, and then swipe to wipe that. Once you've done that, you can go all the way back to the main menu, tap on install. Okay, so quick note about this. If you go to your SD card and you see that it doesn't look quite right, you can see 0 OBB and maybe the TWRP folder, and then of course the things that you've copied over. You may have an issue with TWRP mounting some other kind of data partition, or at least a different mapping of it. So if you do experience this, I recommend that you can flash the ROM first and any other associated zip files, and then after that, I recommend that you do a wipe storage, so not just a factory reset, but then actually go ahead and wipe your internal storage completely, where you have to type in yes in TWRP, and then your phone should boot up. Of course, you can try it without doing so, but from what I've tried myself, if you do see this screen like this, and it doesn't look quite right, then a storage wipe is necessary. And locate the ROM, and swipe to flash that. You give this one a couple minutes to do, and by the end you should be greeted with the finished installation screen. Alrighty, so the installation has finished, and with that, we can go back one and ensure that we flash the TWRP installer. I'm going to flash that one. Okay, so now that it's done installing TWRP, we can go ahead and reboot our system. And even if it says no OS installed, you can just swipe to reboot on that, and it should take you into the boot up phase. Sometimes you won't even see this screen and your phone will just turn black. If that does happen to you, I recommend that you go ahead and download the factory image, flash that to both slots if you can. You can add in an extra flag with /slot equals all to the update command at least, and even the bootloader and radio commands. And that will flash everything except for the system partition on both slots. And then you can go ahead, boot into TWRP, and then flash the ROM and also do the wipes and all that as well. Now we're just going to fast forward this and hopefully the ROM boots up. The animation looks very cool already. So we'll just give this maybe 5-10 minutes to do so, and we'll see some of the features on there. Okay, so our phone has just booted up, so a data wipe was necessary. Just for me, it might not be for you. It just depends on before I'll leave a note about that. And here we are. So we can just set up our phone as usual. We'll skip connecting to that. So I'm just going to set up my phone and then we'll head back and have a look at the home screen. So I decided to skip the setup wizard because it wouldn't let me pass downloading updates or signing in. Silly Google. And so these are the apps that you get pre-installed. I think that is the Android calculator. Yes, it is. And also, you get, I think that should be the Google camera. Let's just have a look really quickly. Yes, it is. And you get the clock, contacts, files, both the messaging and phone apps are from Google, the Play Store, and the gallery is the default one. Here are the things. So let's have a look at some of the settings here. We can already notice some differences here when it comes to the brightness slider, and there are actually buttons to increment the brightness and also to enable auto brightness as well. Let's see if this has extended quick settings. I don't think so. It doesn't, but that's alright. We can now go into settings here and have a look at the Owl's Nest, home of the Chronic with a K. So these are all your little options and tweaks that you can choose. They all look fantastic. So gestures, and speaking of gestures, there won't be any more squeeze gestures. So you can't squeeze for the Google Assistant on Android open source project-based ROMs. And you'll be able to see that it's not here. We can also have a look at some of these as well. And there are lots of different additional gestures based off from the home button one. So that's very interesting. So you can definitely have a look at this. Check that out. And so these are kind of the basic functions and features that it does offer, which is very cool. So lots of things to change here. And before I go, actually, if you want to root with Magisk, now's the time to do so. So just reboot your phone into the recovery mode so you can hold volume up since you've flashed the TWRP installer beforehand. And once your phone turns on to this screen, you can leave it on there for a little bit and it should boot into TWRP. And if you get this screen, you can keep read-only or swipe to allow modifications. It shouldn't matter too much. And if you've set up a password or passcode, as well, you might have to decrypt your data as well. So to install Magisk, we're just going to tap on install, go down to Magisk and swipe to confirm flash. We're just going to reboot the system here. So you also might get this option to install the TWRP app. I recommend that you don't do this because you can just download it from the Play Store anyways, and definitely do not install this as a system app. So just for safety, uncheck the first two and then tap on do not install. Okay, so we're back in and we should see Magisk Manager here. If you don't see it here, then you might need to restart your phone once more for the app to show up. So that's it for rooting our device. And one more thing before we go, this ROM also has kind of a system-wide dark mode here. If you go to display and then go down to theme options, you can turn on like the pitch black theme. So if we go to dark here, there should be that kind of light gray kind of color. And if you switch on, if we go back down here, the black AF theme, it becomes pitch black, so very friendly for our AMOLED screens. So that's just one of the many options that you can choose from this ROM, and I'm very impressed by the selection here as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, if you have any other questions or queries, please feel free to leave them down below, or even better yet, join us on Discord here where we can chat about whatever you like and also receive help about whatever you like, within reason of course. But it's just so much better than trying to comment through YouTube to show different commands or even to show pictures or screenshots. So it's very useful if you need to do that. Join us on Discord. A link to that is down below as well.